Hi everybody, I'm Alex and you're watching The Renaissance Builder. So if you're watching this, there's a possibility that you fell for the clickbait thumbnail. Now before you go exiting out of this thing, it's not 100% clickbait. I do have a thing against Apple. In fact, I'm wondering why so many people out there are so obsessed with Apple when they quite obviously do things against us, the user. Us, people that use the Apple products. I mean, come on. Now, I guess in order to make legit accusations, I would have to have a lot more proof than just circumstantial evidence. But the fact that every single time anymore, every time they want you to do an update and that your phone tells you that, hey, there's an update available, all of a sudden things stop working. I mean, seriously, when your phone knows that there's an update because Apple is pushing a piece of software to your phone. Well, when they push that software to your phone, it's actually a large portion of software. And from what I understand, there's actually a portion of that software is what you need to upgrade your phone, upgrade the software of your phone. Well, all it would take is for them to stick a couple extra lines of code in there to start interrupting existing programs so that your phone doesn't work quite right until you either, upgrade your software, like do the update, or just buy a new phone. So why does nobody ever approach this? Is Apple just too big of a company to say, hey, you shouldn't be doing that? And I guess, you know what? Society has just decided to be okay with it, I guess. I don't know. I find it annoying, so I guess this isn't totally clickbait, but I'm definitely not buying another Apple phone. I'm not doing it. I've had it. Why in the world am I going to spend over $1,000 for a product that I know is going to stop working correctly within a year or less? You bought an iPhone XS, and then all of a sudden they got a new release, like iOS 13 is supposed to be coming out, and then all of a sudden your new XS that you paid over $1,000 for is not working correctly. What? How are we okay with that? They're doing it on purpose. Seriously. Anyhow, unfortunately, Apple actually has a better history of backing up their products than Android phones do. From what I understand, Apple supports their products for a couple years versus Android supports their products or I say Android, but most Android-based phones supports their products for less than that, from what I understand. But I'm definitely not getting another Apple. No, I'm not doing it. I want to get one of those watches. No, it's gonna be an Android-based watch. I'm done spending so much money on a product that's just going to get messed up the minute the manufacturer wants you to update something. That's ridiculous. Anyhow, off my soapbox. So I'm pretty excited sitting here because the next episode coming this weekend is going to be epic. And I say epic. So one of my videos, as you guys probably know, this channel is pretty small. But one of my videos took off, I think it's pretty awesome, over 2,000 views. And that's the CO2 or the dry ice-based air conditioning unit, which didn't actually work, but it was fun to mess with it in the process, right? So I was like, you know what? Obviously, this is something you guys want to see. So we're redoing it. Only this time, we're making the ice chest so that we're making the cooler unit so that you can actually use it with dry ice. And we're taking the, let's just say we're taking the experiment part of it to a whole nother level. It's going to be epic. At least as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be epic. You're going to want to watch it. You're going to love it. In fact, why don't I give you a little sneak peek of the cooler that I've been working on. It's right over here. Don't mind the mess. It's a little dirty in here. So that's what we've been working on so far. Got the fan mounted up in there, and we got the Sorry for the camera shake. I'm kind of winging this right now. But we got the fan mounted up in there. So definitely stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button and make sure that bell icon is notified, so it notifies you, because you're going to like this. You're going to want to see this, especially if you actually want a functional air conditioner, well, mobile ice chest-based air conditioner that you can even use in your van or in your apartment or in your room or in your truck or camper, whatever you're doing. You'll be able to use a dry ice based unit, which should last longer and work better in a closed space. Yeah, I know. So many comments. Hey, don't tell that guy about the... Oh, my favorite one. Don't tell that guy about the carbon monoxide. That's a forehead smacker right there. Like, it's dioxide, CO2, so it's carbon dioxide for starters. And for second, carbon dioxide's not poisonous. You breathe carbon dioxide like you exhale carbon. In fact, if you didn't have carbon dioxide, you would die. It's not poisonous. However, that being said, too much of it is a bad thing. Carbon dioxide does displace oxygen. So you're like, well then how in the world... Let me back up. Dry ice is carbon dioxide in solid form. So it's concentrated. So you're like, well then how are you going to be able to use this in a small... Well, you know what? You're just going to have to watch the episode and find out. Because I have a solution. It does work. And it should be pretty epic. Haven't tested it yet, but everything that I'm doing, everything that I've figured out, it should work pretty well. And that's not even the exciting part. Like, the exciting part is the experiment we're going to do. Well, let's just say that, well, the neighbors might not be so happy. I hope they're okay with it. Anyhow, you guys are the reason I'm here. You know, I appreciate everybody that watches, that clicks, and follows through with all the minutes of watching. I know you're taking time out of your day to spend time looking at your phone or on your computer, and I appreciate that. I really do. So eventually, when this channel gets big enough and quite possibly gets, you know, funded or something like that, I want to start doing giveaways because I want to show my appreciation for you guys. Until then, to keep the show running, because we got a lot going on. We got some pretty major computer components going in. We're going to be building a computer that's actually worthy of some decent video editing. We're going to be... my buddy Steve Weeks, man, he hooked me up. We've got a couple neon sign transformers. I'm talking 12,000 volts. We're going to be doing throwing some lightning bolts going on, so that's going to be fun. But all this stuff is a lot easier to do when the wife isn't like, you know, going, hey, we can't afford it. And it's like, oh, it's expensive. And you know what? I get on my hands and knees and I say, I just gotta kind of go, I don't want to beg. You guys don't want to see any begging. But if you want to support the effort, I have a Patreon page. Check it out, The Renaissance Builder on Patreon. Become a patron. What I plan to do is a lot of these projects that I'm working on, I will post on Patreon so that if you're actually a patron, then you can have access to the plans and you can have access to communication. You know, any questions or anything that you have that you want answered and you're trying to build a project and whatever, you just want to, you know, talk. I guess we can do that. Well, at least there'll be a reward. You know, there'll be a reward for doing so. Not to mention, as I said, as we get bigger, I'd like to thank Nicholas Harvey because he is my first patron. Epic. So by the time we get to 1,000 subscribers and more, then those first patrons get they get the pick of the litter, so to speak. So the best prizes. So yeah, head on over there, help support the effort. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure that bell icon is clicked because you're gonna want to watch this next episode. It's gonna be awesome. I promise you that. Till then, guys, have a good night. Take care.
Bye-bye.